Hello and welcome to our brand new channel, Life to Create. We're living in Galicia, learning to farm and live creatively small. So this week we're going to dive in with some of our projects we're working on, which include fencing, where we're going to crop, a polytunnel that we built, and maybe a few other things. For now, let's just enjoy the scenery and jump in. Hello everyone, welcome back to the farm. It is, I believe, our fourth video, if you don't count shorts. So I'm going to start the video today just showing you what we've been up to, where we're getting, about our plans and the exciting things, hopefully fingers toes crossed, ahead for this week. So let's go and find Troy. Oh, okay. So this is our field that is inundated with voles, and I think our dogs are trying to help us so we can grow potatoes. You're going to help us, Maggie, grow potatoes? You're going to catch some voles? The funny thing is every now and then they get hold of them, but they don't do anything to them. They just carry them around alive in their mouths. Putting posts in.
Yeah, this is the awkward one. I'm trying to keep it as close as I can to the hedge line.
Yeah.
I come this side of those two trees, but it...
And we're going to gate this or fence it off. So we've got a double gate system down there, just for a little bit of added security. Let's go and look at the fencing. It's an on and off day here in this part of Galicia today. The sun comes, the rain showers come. It's not too bad, is it, Brave? It's doable. Come in with Mummy. My companion behind me, who likes to follow, trail me, don't you? So we're going to have a look at our fencing. Just keeping the dogs in the paddock. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? You can see the cows in the distance up there, the next farm. And then I think Vinci's been banished for digging because we don't want to fall down any holes. To the famous polytunnel. Handmade, handcrafted. Oh, it's lovely in here. It's so warm. I always put these little things on so I can shut myself in here and not have cats coming in, and I can be undisturbed. So let's do a little tour of what's growing in the polytunnel and see how things are getting on. So we've got so far onions. It says in this strip here parsley, and then it says peas. I would say that's a pea, wouldn't you? So yeah, there's another pea there. Then we've got some dahlias mixed in. We've got lechuga, lettuce. That's been quite slow. Slightly disappointed. It was one of the first things I planted. We've got some garlic. More garlic. These are, anybody who gardens, broccoli or cabbage, one of the two. We've got some beetroot, flowers. Most things will get moved outside when they're a bit more established. These have really popped up since I went to the market last Sunday. Yep, Sunday, just gone. And then the peas have just started picking up. The raspberry and the blueberry has started to bud. We'll zoom in. You can see the buds there against the wall and the blueberry down there. Nothing from the grapevine. It looks dead. And another raspberry budding there. Last week's episode, or last week, about 4 days ago, I planted the more raspberries because we're going to make raspberry jam, raspberry liqueur. My friends here are going to teach me how to make their liqueurs. So purely medicinal. So just tell us how you've got it from there to there.
So obviously I went on YouTube. I've never done fencing before for cattle. Went on YouTube and I've tied that end properly where you wrap the wire around and then I'll start again.
Okay.
Start again. Right. All right. So I went up that end first and I've wrapped the wire around the post up there.
Yeah.
And tied it up.
The top post.
Yeah, the very end post. Yeah, top post. And then I rolled it out. And what I've done,
So you rolled it all out flat here. Yeah. We saw that this morning.
Yeah. And you can buy this special tool that pulls the wire.
Yeah.
And you've got to have something here. A lot of people do it with like the tractors.
Yeah.
And then they bring the tractor back slightly to pull the fence tight. But obviously we haven't got a tractor and we don't want to spend any money, on a proper puller because we may only use it once or twice. This is when we've done fencing. So I've put this pole in, tied the wire around the pole, like I've done basically at the other end with the fence post, and then I've made this little, put this post in here, and put this in to take the stray.
Yeah.
And then I've just wrapped the strap top and bottom.
Okay.
And pulled it nice and tight. And then I've made sure it's sort of even down through this post. So it's not too much at the top, too much at the bottom.
So I'm just going to add something. This pole here that fell out of a wall and onto my head was a blessing then.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So I've used this pole for digging the holes.
So there you go.
Made a pilot hole and then driven the post.
So the universe sent us this pole.
I've driven the post in roughly about 60 centimetres.
Yeah.
All the way up through.
What do you think Brave is like? What's wrong, Brave? Yeah, I know. Okay. Look at his nose on the fence. Look. Just one at a time, Brave, because we're working. That's really good.
Yeah, so I'm going to go down there, fix it all. And then I will cut each wire here.
Yeah.
To make sure I've wired the fence came past the final post.
Yeah.
I should cut a wire.
Yeah.
And then tie it around individually.
So what's happening on this bit here then? What's this bit all about at the end? Is that just for your ratchets?
This is just this is just put there just to take the strain of the ratchet strap.
Yeah.
This here is taking the strain of this fence at the moment, and this diagonal is taking the strain of the fence. Yeah. Once I've finished, I'll take this out and take that out. Perfect. It's such a simple idea.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we had quotes, didn't we, for fencing, and they were in there. It was like getting into thousands, wasn't it?
Yeah. We've paid, I think it was €60 for the fencing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many tax were, maybe 10
€7,
I think.
€7 at the farm shop. Yeah.
No, it's brilliant.
Okay, back to the greenhouse. Much needed cup of tea here. Just taking Troy a cup of tea because he's busy outside. Just as I start filming, Nugget starts to have a play fight. So you'll hear her in the background. So I brought a new bag of compost. I've been soaking seeds overnight. We've got an experiment. If I've mentioned it before, Nettles and Petals, I really recommend you follow him on Instagram. Possibly has a YouTube channel. I'll look into that. Any links I can find to him, Nettles and Petals, I will put in my link below today. But we've soaked overnight these lovely seeds that came from vegetable we bought from the supermarket. So we're going to do an experiment because I planted 2 weeks ago some hot peppers and bell peppers, as well as some asparagus. Nothing has happened in 2 weeks. It's possible that's completely normal this time of year. Don't know. But according to Mr. Nettles and Petals, he recommends that if you soak them in some apple cider vinegar, you'll break down the coating that prevents them germinating within the fruit quicker, and they will germinate in your soil. So we'll do that and we'll keep you posted on how that goes. So I've got that to do. Lots of seeds to plant today, and get those in the diary as well. Get them in the diary, talk about what's going on there. And then I think in this video we want to get on and think about where our potatoes are going to go. I've mapped out where they're going to go. I've got to prep the soil. Not sure how I'm going to do that, so that'll be coming up in this video, but it's going to be part of our no dig plan when it comes to farming here, and using some hay and some mulch and compost that we've got here on the farm. So lots to do. Let's get started.
Proper gate fitted.
So I found a nice little spot for the bunnies and decided that, just point the camera down there, Violet, that this little spot here next to our natural fence, I don't think that they'll get through that, but we can chicken wire it. And they're not going to be out here on their own anyway. They're going to be supervised. And then let's just put these down. This is where they would have scrubbed and dried and done stuff here with washing. These bring the camera by, show them. Looks like it had a cover on it, but basically this is an old washing machine, and it's got all these in, and then it's got a scrubby thing up there, the tap, and there, and then they basically would have put clothes on here and then scrubbed them, and then they used to hang their clothing out here. And it's a really nice reminder that modern living only really occurred here about 60 years ago, 50 years ago, which is quite a short period of time, really, when you think about the UK and things like that. So yeah, this is quite this was used until maybe like 40, 50 years ago, and then we now have a washing machine in the house, thank goodness. So yeah, so this is where they did their washing, and we've got this little spot here that we're thinking would be nice for a little bunny den to hide. What do you think, Carla?
Thanks, Dada.
Hi Darren, what's on?
Just trying to sort out this little area for rabbits. Just going to bury the fence underneath the ground a little bit, but obviously there'll always be somebody here watching them and playing with them when they're out, so they can't be unsupervised just in case.
No.
But yeah,
Chilly, isn't it, today?
Yeah, just going to bury it, and then I'm going to return it just around there and beyond that straight, just in case they do go up there. So yeah, just doing that really, and make a bit this little opening here so we can come in and out, and then shut it again.
Okay, Darren.
Yeah. Good.
She doesn't take any shit, does she? I think the next thing is to pick up some twigs and things that are just lying around here that could just do with being cleared away, and put that layer on there. And then there's lots of mulched peaty soil around, so I'm going to lift that up and put that on there, and then I'm going to assess it and think about whether that's going to work. Obviously there's a tree in the middle, but it should be fine because the potatoes roots are just going to go into the surface of this as it oh, I did forget, I'm going to put cardboard down, but the potatoes are actually going to be growing on hay, So we're just building up really a hill of stuff for them to grow. And I've seen other people doing this, but they have more technical terms because they're experienced at this. But you know, this is for one, the gardener that has no idea what they're doing it for the first time. Secondly, very few resources, likes upcycling, and doesn't worry too much about what it looks like, because at the end of the day, and this is full of potato plants and onions and garlic growing around the edge and alliums, it's going to be beautiful because we're going to have some mixed crops in here anyway. So yeah, let's crack on. Everything is rotting down constantly because it's a mild climate and wet. And if you've watched my video about the rain and how wet it really is here and our story over flooding, you'll know that when the rain comes, it really falls and everything is in a process of mulching down. So within a few months, if you leave a pile of something and you go back to it after 3 months, you'll see that it's already started to decay. So we're going to put as much mulchy stuff on the base of this above the cardboard. So going to create a composting environment below the potato crop and put a lot of hay on, plant the potatoes on the hay and just let everything take its course. Now, this area of the garden was covered in brambles, trees, bushes, fig tree, and a lot of composting has already occurred to the point where we've got patches of amazing compost that Lily's actually digging up right now, and we're going to add as well and mix it in. And I'm just picking up any sort of waste, like tree clipping waste, that I can also find on the ground here, and throwing that in as well. And it's really going to create this amazing environment and potentially prevent weeds from coming through and need watering a lot less. So it's going to be a healthier environment because there's also going to be mixed cropping as well that's helping with feeding nutrients to different plants. So my old rake that I found on the farm has broken, so I think it's time for a cup of tea and then come back and dig up some more soil and find more mulch as well. There's plenty of it, but definitely time for a cup of tea. Hello. How's it going?
Yeah, good. The gate out an old pallet, or a new old pallet.
Yes.
So we're given this morning.
Yes, we went to the farm shop this morning, and we asked them where we could buy gates and such like for a fence that we built, and he sort of looked at us and said, "Don't buy gates. Make them with whatever you can find." Yeah. So we said, "Okay, you're right." We said pallets would be great, and he said, "Just take how many other pallets you want." So and then he had the hinges and bolts. So Troy's got his lovely pallet, so just turn around and look at that. And there the dogs are in their little field, so that we can just get on with a few jobs. Usually Brave is fine when he's just out in the field. Nugget can't be out in the field because she goes on little wanders, don't you, Nugget? Which has us very worried. She's a bit of a wanderer. And Vinci does come out, but he's a digger, and we don't want to. You see this field, he can be walking through it and just find a huge, he doesn't just dig a little bit, he digs huge holes. So we sort of give him a break from digging while we're doing jobs, because otherwise we have to keep asking him to stop digging. Right, let's go give the chickens this and see how they get on. Feathers are coming out. Lizzie, we're going for a molt. So this time of year chickens molt, so you can see losing some of their feathers. Some of them have already had their molt, but it looks like we've got 3 going through a molt. And this is just some of their ordinary food mashed up with warm water and a supplement that has lots of yummy vitamins in it for them. Yes.